A very good morning to you. Coming live from Florida Cricket Oval. It is the East African Safari T20 Cup. This morning on match day number 4, Mount Karisimbi against Mount Kilimanjaro. But let's see what happened at the toss.
Good morning and welcome to match day 4 of the East African Safari. It is a clash between Mountain Kilimanjaro and Mountain Karisimbi. I have the two captains here with me. Ramadan Ochimi, the captain for Mountain Karisimbi. Nathan Mperi, the captain for Mount Kilimanjaro. And the match umpire, Elizabeth Nakibule. We've come for the toss. Heads is the call. And tails is on top. Ramadan, you've won the toss. What will you be doing first and why?
I'll bowl first. Because I think the ground is not ready. The outfield, I've checked out the outfield and think it's not ready. We shall bowl first.
What do you hope to do better coming into this game?
I hope we can bat very well in the second innings.
Thank you so much and all the best.
You're welcome.
Nathan, if you had gotten a chance of winning the toss, what were you going to do first and why?
So of course we are going to bat first, of course, because we've got some boost in our batting 11, starting 11, and also the ground is not favorable for fielding. Yeah,
so what are you looking at going into the game?
Today we'll start with our six per over. I think it will be good.
Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you too.
And that is the news coming from the center. Mountain Karisimbi has won the toss.
And it will be Mountain Karisimbi bowling. Adam Huzaifa coming from the Forest End. First ball of the match. Roberto Willie, captain, coming top of the order. Starts off with a dot ball. It is the rain-affected match. Reduced to Chigozi, and I will be taking you through the first innings. I beg your pardon, the opening bowler is Kenneth Isiko. First runs coming off a boundary from the blade of Roberto Willie. A man in such fine form, you would say, hasn't managed to make a half century, but he has been threatening to, has two scores of 40s, 45 in 30 against Mount Elgon and 41 in 28 versus Mount Satima. He usually carries the batting load of his team. And at a look at the recent form of both teams, Mount Karisimbi playing their second match but winning their first encounter against Renzori by 15 runs. Abdul Shakul Doka, the captain, anchoring the side with 27 in 22. Ably supported by Emetu Paul, 25 in 28. With the bowling of Oburu, 3 in 18, earning player of match honors. In contrast, Kilimanjaro have played against Elgon and won by 55 runs. Roberto Willie top scoring in that encounter, 45 and 30 balls, but Jovan Kumagum, the man and player of that match, picking up 4 wickets for 7 runs in 3 overs. Second match that they have played against Satima, won by 10 runs. Owiri still there, 41 in 28. Emo Kalinga, 27 in 27. And that will be a no ball, indicated overstepping there from Isiko. First extras to tot up in that column. A very cold morning here in Kokonjeru. The ground still damp, but play able to take place. Great work from the ground staff. Skyer there from Roberto Willie And of course, because he cannot be out of a free hit, caught, makes it 2 quick runs in the middle there. The young man unable to complete the catch. That, whatever it is, you need to take your catches. Went for the big one, but only top edge it to point. Another dot ball there from this over, first over, and it will be the final ball. Final ball of the over. Back over length there. Powerfully cut by Robert Owiri. Picks up a double there. 9 runs off Isiko. 9 for no loss after 1. And I'm joined by Emmanuel Trijuche in the commentary box. Yeah, welcome, Emma.
Thank you, King Soso. It's a very chilly morning out here, and the outfield is going to be a little bit slow.
Yes, a heavy morning downpour over the Mukono region. So a delayed start, reduced overs as well. But Paul Emetu comes into the bowling attack, coming from the highway end. Openji Mungu picks up his first runs. Emma, it's going to be a very enticing contest between Paul Emetu and Robert Owiri. 2 people very well known to each other.
Yeah, and like the teammates, I think they play in the same team in the league, and they know themselves very well, and they also go to the same school.
Robert Owiri following that offering from Emetu wide, but manages to only find the fielder in covers, and Emetu would be the happy of the 2, picking up a dot ball to a bad ball. Still struggling with his lines, Paul Emetu. And like you said, the damp ground doesn't make gripping the ball any easier. And that breeze blowing across the oval as well are all factors.
Yeah, that if you put all that together, it could affect a bowler who's trying to find his rhythm in his first over.
Not very clean glove work there from the man behind the stumps. Still straying down the leg side, Paul Emetu. And we have seen our bowlers trying to throw some grass, some few blades of grass in the air, trying to know which direction the wind is blowing, and that really informs how you bowl. It's still a new ball. The struggle continues for Paul Emetu to find his lines, and quick running in there from Robert Owiri picks up 3 runs, 4 in total there from that single ball. Very, very expensive over so far from Paul.
He started off so well, bowling a few dot balls, went for a single. And now he's given off wides and so many extras given off. And yet he had his man where he wanted him exactly. I think he noticed that Obere is having a hard time playing balls that are so far wide and short, and then balls that are on his body line. What a ball.
Good correction there. Puts Openjimungu in all sorts of trouble. That is the line that he should be bowling to. And going back to the point that you are making, Emma, Owiri struggles with those body line balls, but his hits well, the balls bowled wider and short. So, and after a big, what seemed to be a very long over, the score stands at 17 for no loss after 2 overs. The run rate is now at 8.50 after 2 overs, but Isiko will continue from the forest end in the block call there. Good ball.
Looking at Obere play, every shot that he offers, he has a lot of power. He's an aggressive batter. So you don't want to fall on his bad side. You put it in the zone, he's going to dispatch you.
Good there from Isiko. Balls it right on the tram line, way past the bat of Robert Owiri. And yes, he's a man of power. Comes top of the order, tries to utilize the fielding restrictions. But I would say that he's a man who can bat anywhere in the lineup.
With such power, yeah, he should be able to bat anywhere in the lineup, wherever he's put. Given that whenever he clears the ball, he knows that once he clears it, it's going, not anywhere. What Kenneth is trying to do, I think, is trying to get him boxed in.
He's been threatening to play that shot. Good work there from the young man. Keeps it just to a double. Beautiful cover drive there, textbook. And the success that he has experienced so far, not only in this tournament, but his career, you realize that He's a man who trains hard, and umpire Elizabeth Nachibule, standing with Reston Alumansi, indicates the end of the power play. So protection now available to the fielding captain. Powerfully struck there by Roberto Willie for the first maximum of this innings.
Right into the slot. He had to create space and clear that. What a powerful hit. It's usually a good hit when a batter is trying to clear the offside of the field. You're hitting over long off, mid off. That's a very powerful shot. Very good shot.
Better ball there from Kenneth. Squares him up with that one coming off the turf.
I think that's the line he should be looking at bowling. Try to bowl to his body, since his field is more on the offside. Bowl to his body and try to box him in at least. Don't give him any chances for scoring. The score is 27 after 3 overs, and they're playing 17 overs. Robert Owili 17 of 17. Julius Openjimungu 1 of 3 balls.
The East African Safari T20 Cup featuring 6 teams. Karisimbi, Kilimanjaro, Renzori, Satima, Elgon and Meru. Second match being played by Mount Karisimbi, but it is the third match for Mount Kilimanjaro. This tournament proudly brought to you by our premier sponsors, Dafabet, Kingsley Children's Medical Center in Mukono, Deep End Sports Media as broadcasting and streaming partners, and the thick inside edge there from Robert, unable to put that ball away. The tournament being overseen by Cricket Uganda.
Paul Emetu is a bowler who swings the ball inside, so Obere might be finding it difficult. I was just from saying Obere might find it difficult playing in swingers, looking at how he was squared up or trying to play on the front foot. He first gave him one that came back and he drove it straight to the ground, and now he gave him another one that came back straight in. That was some creative thinking and good bowling from Emetu.
Great work there from Paul Emetu, working the bowler out, sets him up very well, bowls one outside and then brings it back in, finding his lines now, and a much better over so far. No foot movement there from Robert Owiri, beaten as well by that extra pace from Emetu.
I think if he'd committed on the front foot, he would have gotten it, either block it or try punch it for a single, which would have been a better option rather than going back on the back foot and try and play on the back foot. The ground, it's kind of holding, so you wouldn't expect the ball to come off quick how you'd want it. So it's better committing forward and playing from forward all the time. He has the power, so if he keeps coming forward and playing from forward, he's going to score many runs.
Indeed, got in between no man's land, not going forward, neither backwards. He likes to play on the up, but that ball seaming off the turf and surprised him. Happy days for the men in blue. That is Mount Karisimbi.
I'm sure they'd be relieved that the danger man has gone off. Now they have to keep struggling with the other batters to see how to limit them to a limited score that they can be able to chase easily.
Martin Boji is the new man in, making his debut in this East African Safari T20 Cup. He's a candidate and studies take precedent over cricket, but now able to find some time, comes in. He should be a solid top order performer. Beautifully drives that one on the ground to pick up his first runs in this tournament.
What Metu has tried doing to the new batsman is tried bowling it. For first ball he gave it to him, it was so full and slow, and the second ball is giving it to him so full and still slow. So I think he's trying to make him play the wrong line that he can be able to get him out. I think that's good thinking, smart thinking from the bowler.
Final ball of the over. Full one there. Beats the man at mid-wicket. Good work to keep it within the boundary ropes. They pick up 2 for Openji Mungu. End of the 4th over. 32 for the loss of 1. The danger man, Robert Owiri, back in the hat. We see the first bowling change. Isiko being replaced from the Forest end. Isiko has bowled in tandem with Emetu for the first 4 overs. Mukisa David, new man in, youngster, right at the cusp of his cricket career. Bowls one back of a length. Not fully put away by Openjimu, by Boji. Those 2 members of Mukono cricket community. Mukisa turning out now for Uganda Matters SS Sunday. Julius Boji turns out for St. Cornelius SS Kalagala. This is good practice for them as they will be preparing for the boys schools cricket week Played powerfully on the leg side there by Openjimungu.
Left-handers are usually so good on the leg side, on their body line every time you bowl to them, so you don't want to make that mistake. I think what he should be doing is coming from that very angle, try and pitch it outside off stump and get him either caught or try bowl it, trying to come inside, bowler in swing, so you're able to bowl him out.
Inexperience showing there in the bowling of David Mukisa, bowling to a left-hander. That right-hand and left-hand combination always troubling even to seasoned pros. Needs to get his lines quickly. Better line there, right in the block hole. Quick run there, pick up one.
If there is one pace bowler I've known who loves bowling to left-handers, is Geoffrey Archer. That man loves picking left-handers. He knows how to square them up into where he wants. He puts his slips in place and is going to bowl it out, swinging out, and then he's going to bring it back inside and ends up bowling them out.
Indeed, that takes serious skill. And that will be a boundary from Martin Boji to add to the total of Kilimanjaro. Collins Okwalinga missing out in this morning encounter, where you had the first four opening batters of Mount Kilimanjaro, all with surnames that start with O. Openjimungu, Owidi, Okwalinga. Playing it round instead of straight, Martin Boji to the medium pace of David Mukisa. Final ball of this Mukisa over. That ball swung in the air, but just continuing down the leg side. Imagine if he pitches it fourth stump, all on off stump. It will trouble a lot, that batter. But final ball will have to be bowled again.
Looking at his bowling action, how he's coming in to bowl. That's how he would want to bowl. Keep bowling to such a batter who is trying to swing his bat so hard. So it would be smart thinking if you keep bowling straight in the stumps. So every time he steps away and he wants to slug the ball, he leaves his chances. Chances are high that you're going to get him bowled out. But every time you give it to him on the offside, you could bowl him out. The score is 42 for 1 after 5 overs. Martin Boji 6 off 6. Julius Openjimungu 6 off 6. We have a spinner coming in to bowl, replacing Polymetry from the highway end. A wicket keeper calling for his helmet to keep on the stumps. Wicketkeeper Ochimi Ramadan, who at one point played for Uganda and was in fine form, the form of his life. At his prime, he was almost the best wicket keeper, you would say.
Yes, we're seeing spin for the first time, and umpire Reston Alumansi indicates the end of the power play. The spinner should have some protection. Cow corner is in place and long on. That ball very wide and in danger of going off the strip, and you feel that the bowler is not having a follow through, so only using his shoulders to propel that ball down the track.
Bowled it right in the block hole, and the left-hander having to create room for himself to clear that ball. I think the left-hander is the bowler is struggling to bowl. He's not having a rhythm. He's trying to find his rhythm to bowl to the left-handed batter. Although in most cases you find left-handed bowlers usually trouble the left-handed batters.
Skied right over the despairing hand of the man running in from deep mid-wicket. Flighted delivery there from Kadiowa.
Oh, that was too flighted. That was too much power being put in here there to clear that ball to the boundary.
He's struggling so much with gripping that ball. Surface being wet after that morning downpour, but a better ball there, creating room. Openji Mungu, but ball keeping low and dot ball there.
It's not an easy thing gripping the ball usually when the ground is wet. That is struck powerfully down the ground for a single. I was still saying it's usually very difficult for an off spinner, a spinner to grip that ball, most especially if you're not that experienced and you're trying to bowl to a batter on the other end who has had some experience batting and who opened the innings and still in there. Usually becomes difficult. So every loose ball you bowl, he will look at taking you on. Powerfully struck through the cover region. For 4 runs by Martin Borgi.
Balls it wide, and he was waiting for that one. Played it on the up, and that boundary marks the end of over number 6. The score is 58 for the loss of 1. Current run rate at a mammoth 9.67 there. Projected score being above 160 runs. That would be a very tremendous score, meaning Mount Kilimanjaro are in business. Past score has been 130 runs, but when you cross the 120 runs mark, that score has been quite defendable here at Florida Cricket Oval. David Mukisa continues. And Openji Mungu down on his knee, plays it over cover point, and they pick up 2. You feel that there is now some aggression from the batters. Openjimungu has been there from the start, like you said, facing an inexperienced bowler in David Mukisa. What an opportunity for the young man to continue learning his trade. And an opportunity there to him, unable to pick it up. Misfield out there from the man, abdicating his duty, results in a boundary 4. A very cold morning, and you feel for the fielders. Balls it wide there, trying to take it away from the batter, but plays it just above his head to pick up another single. Opening Mungu now in the 20s.
I think they've kind of relaxed the field, the fact they think they got rid of the danger man, so they can afford to give away this, not knowing that it will hurt them.
Good ball there from David Mukisa. Boji thought it was short, but realized he was playing the wrong shot, but manages to steer it away for a single. Better line there from Mukisa. Still coming. Right arm over to the left-handed Openjimungu. And with even the field restrictions done and dusted, with only 3 people out in the deep. Good cover drive there. So from Openjimungu to retain strike, bringing us to the end of the 7th over. Score is 67 runs. The solitary wicket of Robert Owiri for Mount Kilimanjaro. Of course, Mount Karisimi won the toss and elected to bowl first. Having seen enough from the previous spinner, Abdul Shakur Doka comes into the attack, draws the man forward. The run and contest was between Gali and Openjimungu, running to the non-strikers end. Manages to pick up one.
Due to the slowness of the ground, I wouldn't have that fielder so far there. I would want them so close, either in the 20 yards, so that you restrict them from taking that single run. Have the field inside and then have the boundary fielders patrol the boundary.
Tries to create room, moving his feet down to leg side. That ball is staying low and he misses out. Played his shot quite early. Opportunity for a run out. Not a clean pickup from Abdul Shakur Doka. A wicket keeper by trade, and Julius Boji survives. A quicker ball there from Abdul Shakur Doka. Bowled wide and quick. Moves down the track. Openjimungu to get to the pitch of the ball. Paul Emetu does the clean-up job at long on. Final ball will be coming up from Doka.
You'd feel he's bowled only 2 balls in the right zone, and the rest he pitched them so short. And look at that ball where it is just pitched so full, missed the keeper, missed the batter for Byron. Score is 71 for 1 after 8 overs. Julius Openjimungu 27 off 19. Martin Boji 13 off 11. That was a tidy over from Abdul Shakur Doka. Consider only 4 from a part-time bowler. That's something good.
I don't think he will appreciate the fact of you calling him a part-time bowler. He's a man who has worked on every part of his craft. Let it be keeping, batting, or bowling. But usually, when you become a jack of trades, as the saying goes, you become a master of none. But doing a tidy job for him, of course, is a better keeper, but compared to his bowling. And Derek Okecho will come in to replace David Mukisa from the Forest End. Starts off with a flighted one, played down on drive from Martin Boji. Martin Boji is that kind of batter, plays classic shots. A protege of Edwin Nwagaba, his coach. Edwin Nwagaba, the under-19 international. Plays it cross bat through mid-wicket for another single, and you feel that he's not timing that ball because he's trying to play it from the from the off onto the on side rather than playing through the line to the offside.
He's keeping his weight backward. That could be the problem as well. That is not able to play the ball the way you'd expect him to play it. So you want him keeping his weight forward, try and clear that ball very well.
And that comes from his head not moving and staying still forward, but rather rocking backwards. So all the weight is transferred on the back foot rather than the front foot. Field changes are plenty there from Okecho. Sends Gale in. And the appeals come in for a stamping. But Openjimungu lives to fight another day. Long on and mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, cow corner position. Abdul Shakur Doka has taken on. Openjimungu missing out on the previous ball. Better there from Okecho, draws the man forward. Run off the fielders in the ring. When you look at this, only 2 people out. Make it 3 to third man adopting the 45-yard line, but then they still managed to take a run. Juggling act by the man at cover point to bring the innings of Martin Boji to an end. A brisk 16 in 13. The second wicket falls for Mount Kilimanjaro with a score at 75. Derek Okecho picks up his first wicket. Martin Boj falling there, and you highlighted a very crucial thing within his framework: weight transfer.
He bats with his bat so open, which creates so many chances of getting caught in the cover region, cover point, and mid wicket, which was just exploited now that he had to give out a chance. He stepped so far away from the ball and he had to play. Abdul Shakur dropping that one in the and the good lines. Julius Openjimung swinging and missing that ball. Kept so low.
New man in is Julius. I beg your pardon, it is Peter Ochen to keep Openjimungu company. Balled it short over length, followed the man down the leg side. Plays it in the vacant mid-wicket region, which brings Ochen on strike. A slight drizzle developing now, and unless it goes away, might bring a break in play. Of course, already a reduced overs match. Balls that one, Abdul Shakur Doka under the eyes of Peter Ochen. Goes wider there. And you see the start that Openjimungu has. And look at that. A double misfield from David Mukisa. They cannot afford to be generous with the runs, the fielders.
You wouldn't want to be doing that at this point, given the fact that they are 78 for 2 at 9.4. It's almost like they have a free card start hitting the ball. And when you look at Ochen, he's a big hitter of the ball, looking at how tall he is. So everything you drop in the right zone for him, it's going to look like a full ball.
Plays that one off his feet. And I love their running in between wickets. You find batters running very casually the first run, but runs hard, puts pressure already on the fielder. Stands tall to that one, but fielder now alert. That marks the end of the over. 80 for 2 after 10 overs. Run rate of 8 per over. Projected score drops now to a bit just above 130 runs.
The ball is soaked with enough water right now, so it's becoming difficult, so difficult to hit. Every time you think you're clearing it for the boundary, you're only going to leave it in the 45, 50 yard. So the best thing is hit the ball, take your first run fast, come back for the second.
Okecho. Clean balls, Openjimungu moving down the track And like you said, Emma, that while the bowlers are having trouble gripping that ball, the batters, because now it is a little bit heavier, having difficulty putting it away. But a great ball there from Derek Okecho.
That's how you'd want to bowl to a left-handed batter who is so open up, and he had to drop it in the right area. Came forward to try and drive the ball, but he was at the wrong line. He ended up driving the wrong line, and his stumps had to be rearranged.
Yes, at his stance facing that ball, he was more open towards the onside, then also compounding the problem by moving down the track, playing to the wrong line. 3 wickets down for Mount Kilimanjaro in their bid to post a competitive score on match day number 4, game number 7. Karisimbi winning the toss and electing to bowl. It is the East African Safari T20 Cup. New man, Augustine Mujuni, right off the mark there. Yesterday had the previous match that he played. He had an indifferent innings, going for a golden duck, but looking to make amends. That ball is now keeping low. Good running in from the boundary by the fielder to keep that to 1.
There is no way the ball is going to move so far, given the fact that it has soaked enough. So every time it's going to hit it, they're going to hit it. It's always going to keep inside the infield unless it's hit so hard.
Plays a drive through the onside there. Augustine Mujuni. Peter Ochan yet to find his groove. He's a man with big, strong muscles, able to clear the rope, but hasn't had opportunity to flex them. Would be mindful of the boundary riders at long off, a very wide long on, a wideish deep mid-wicket. Glanced off. The fielders have to do better. Leg byes indicated by the umpire. No need to concede runs unnecessarily, but 11 done and dusted. 85 for 3 for Mount Kilimanjaro. Usually Abdul Shakur Doka bowls himself through and then takes on the gloves, makes some changes, reinforces the leg side. Favoring an offside field, but bowling it to the leg side. That ball not turning at all. Wicket keeper making a meal of that. Bonus runs there on offer. And what a lucky break for the fielders of Karisimbi. not able to make his ground. The runners bowling a bit slow with varying pace, but he has that quick ball that's in. Rocks back on the back foot. Augustine Mujuni accesses the onside, picks up another single. That ball is not coming off the surface now.
It has taken enough water, so you can't expect it to move anywhere.
An inside out shot from Peter Ochen. Paul Emetu. That ball dying on him. Throwing in the dive, but unable to break his fall, and that ball pops out. Well bowled, young man there. Draws the man forward for a dot ball, and it will be the final ball of the over. Back to back dot balls. Final ball of the over. Using his feet, Mojuni.
91 for 3 is the score after 12 overs. Peter Ochen 6 off 7. Augustine Mujuni 4 off 8. 5 more overs to come. Abdul Shakur Doka won't need to switch to getting gloves today, since they have a full-time wicket keeper who at one point kept for the under-19 and enjoyed his time as a wicket keeper. Ramadan Ochimi.
Okecho coming for his third over. Plays it on the ground. Mujuni to pick up one. And a look at the points table will show you Mount Kilimanjaro leading. Played 2-1-2. Hoping to make it 3 out of 3. Askaya there from Peter Ochen. But Isiko completing that catch. And Ochen having to depart.
Clearing the ball so hard, gave it so much elevation in the end there. Ended up in the hands of the fielder. Wasn't something so smart to do at that point. You're trying to rotate strike, you know the field is wet, the ball has soaked up with enough water. So the smartest thing he should have done was hit it on the ground, which should have been so safe for him. Could have been in there trying to look for more runs.
I think with 5 overs remaining, it is fair to say that he had received the green light from his captain to go and go big, but unable to do so off the second ball there of the 13th over. Plenty of batting you would feel still left in the hat, but as often we've seen that wickets in hand does not translate to runs on board, but there will be a new man in, and it is a new partnership that will have the task of increasing the runs on board, just 8 away from the 3-figure mark of 100. A very big psychological score in cricket. deft touch there to Gale to pick up his first runs and get off the mark. Stamping opportunity. Mujuni had his part of his body behind the crease, and the keeper looks on in asking the umpire Mujuni's form out there, manages to get the foot back in time. Good eyes there from umpire Reston Alumansi, and the wicket keeper does not have the benefit of a replay like we do, and neither does the umpire. But good work there from the umpire, clearly on top of our game in that situation. Ochimi now showing off his competence behind the stumps. Better line there. Ball turning, and final ball of the over. That ball missing by a slight margin the wicket of Augustine Mujuni. Derek Okecho completes that over. Look at those figures. He has picked up 3, conceded 9. Economy now standing at 3. But after the 13th over, the score is 93 for the loss of 4 for Mount Kilimanjaro. The projected score coming from at one point being above 160, now to just slightly past 120 runs. How does Mount Kilimanjaro end this contest? First innings on match day number 4 of game number 7 in this series. Abdul Shakul Doka will bowl his allotted 4, and he has done a good job as well. Not yet picked a wicket, but only conceding 15 in 3. Starts off with a dot ball. Poor foot movement there from the new man.
Nathan is playing without moving his front legs. He's trying to play on the back foot, which would be something smart to do. So Doka would need to bowl a little bit fuller, see if he can try and get his stumps.
He was just a candidate for LBW, not moving his feet at all, just using his hands. Mujuni rocks back, and a misfield there from the man at mid-wicket. Turns the single into a double. Kilimanjaro inching closer and closer to the 100 runs mark. The drizzle trying to come, and with the weather making a turn for the worse, you feel that Mount Karisimbi have to be mindful as DLS will come into play. And we've seen many a side fall. Final ball of Adu Shakul Doka's allotted 4, and he ends it with a dot ball. Concedes 18, picks up no wicket. But 14 overs completed, 96 for 4 for Mount Kilimanjaro. Augustine Mujuni, 7 in 15. Striking below 50. Nathan, 2 in 4, exactly 50. And how they miss the power of Peter Ochen and Robert Owiri. As I told you at the beginning, that Robert Owiri carries the batting responsibility of his team. Most of the times when he falls, at whatever point there is a stagnation in run accumulation.
Robert Owiri is one big hitter of the ball, so every time he's on the wicket there, you know he's going to keep scoring big runs for you. So he's one batter you know you're going to be dependent on. In the first few games that he's played, he's not converted so much to 50s. He's ended around 40s. Hopefully next time when he gets another chance, he can be able to convert those figures. And they take 2 runs off an inside edge from Nathan.
They need to find the boundary more often now. Goes area there, opportunity to catch, juggling acts. Manages to hold on to that one. And Nathan will have to depart. Pedestrian 4 in 5. 98 runs for the loss of 5 now.
He didn't quite hit the ball so well, given the fact that he's hitting it into the breeze. And the fielder had to struggle there twice getting the ball. It's kind of heavy right now.
Not only is it heavy, but that ball is painful when it is wet. So you need well-calloused hands and above all the best technique to draw the ball into your body, kill it, its impact. Derek Okecho having a blinder of a game, just one away from a fifer. 4 balls to do that. We have seen 1 hat-trick so far in this tournament from Richard Sohera, and also the best figures from him as well. Picked up 6 wickets. 3 fifers so far in the tournament. Richard Sohera, Hariom Dude Rijaya. I forget the other one. Opportunity once again, but manages to go over the rope. 1 bounce there to Huzaifa for his first runs.
Was a powerful hit to try to create room and clear that ball through the cow corner region.
Overcorrection there from Okecho, having been hit for a boundary off a ball wide on the stumps, trying to dart it in and pin the man in, but drifts down the leg. Top edge, and they should run too if they want, but fielder retrieves that ball. The sun fighting to come out, but the clouds having a say in that. Flighted and drifted. Man at mid-on there in business. "15 overs completed, 10 And in that 15th, Kilimanjaro crossed the 100 runs mark. 104 runs for the loss of 5. 2 more overs, 12 balls. What can Kilimanjaro use them for? Having been asked to set a score by Karisimbi, who won the toss. Spin has been predominant in this bowling innings. And now Ramadan Ochimi coming into the bowling attack, replacing Abdul Shakul Doka, who takes on the gloves, exchanging roles there. That's one in quickly. In the slot, goes over, covers, ball unable to rest to the boundary, wet outfield, drops like a stone and stays put.
Keepers these days have gotten a trend of having to be spinners. At the same time, you're doing your keeping duties. One time we saw Roger Mukasa, who was once captain of Uganda, do that.
A quick and brief stay there from Adam Huzaifa, managing to find the man at sleep. Ochimi picks up his first wicket. 6 down now.
That ball rushed him and it got to the top of the bat. He tried to clear the wrong side of the field. He stepped away, so far away from the ball. He was nowhere near the ball. Ended up leaving it to the man in the sleep area. Oh, smart thinking from Ochimi.
A quicker ball there. Almost surprised the man at third sleep, but equal to the task. And the new man in will be Raymond Kagera. 3 balls to navigate in this over. Can't hit that ball away. And Ochimi bowling quickly this over. Hit and run. Mujuni comfortably makes ground. And that is the end of the over. 105. I beg your pardon. The score should be 106 runs for the loss of 6 after 16. Final over coming in this first innings. Kenneth Isiko coming in from the forest end will bowl this last over, and you'd call this a fighting chance for the Mount Karisimbi side. Got rid of the danger man Robert Owili, restricting him below 20 runs. But first ball of the final over. Kagera loving the pace on offer. Drives through, covers. Picks up a double.
I love how he switched his mind to the hitting mode. He did clear his leg and hit the offside. You know, the fact that there's no boundary fielder on the offside patrolling the boundary.
Unable to put that away. There is no point in dilly-dallying in the last over unless it is very excellent bowling. It is an opportunity to look for runs because you never know. One or two might help you win the encounter. So that's why even batters on the last ball don't mind running through, even if that ball goes through the keeper when he's standing a little bit further down.
At this point, you find that international batters would look at scooping you, playing the ramp shots. They would be playing your kind of shots, but not in front, unless you've bowled it so full. But at this point, they'll look at playing so behind the square, so they can be able to get free runs easily. Because they know you're trying to bowl full. One time you're going to bowl it in the 3/4 zone.
Swing and a miss there from Mujuni. And guilty of not presenting the full face of the bat. Manages to put bat to ball, but only giving catching practice to the man at mid-off. And with that marks the end of this first innings on match day number 4 of game number 7 between Mount Karisimbi and Mount Kilimanjaro. Karisimbi winning the toss and asking Kilimanjaro to bat, managing to score 109 runs for the loss of 7 in their rain-reduced 17-over match. The equation is clear. Karisimbi will need 110 runs in 17 to win. Live action of the second innings will be coming up shortly.
made their way back into the middle. Elizabeth Nakivule and rest Nalumansi. Mountain Karisimbi needs 110 runs from 17 overs to pick up victory. It is a reduced match because there was a morning power here at Florida Cricket Oval. And if you just joined us, this is a clash between Mountain Karisimbi and Mount Kilimanjaro. Karisimbi winning the toss and electing to bowl first and making sure that they limit Kilimanjaro to only 109 for 7 in the 17 allotted overs of the first innings. My name is Evan Cyprian Sajabi here in the comms, and I'm not alone. I'm here alongside Solomon Rubabachigozi. Solomon, we'll come back from the break. And what do you make of the proceedings?
Thank you very much, Ivan. The weather is going to play a very big part in this second innings. A slight breeze already, and the equation for Mount Karisimbi is to be above par, that if any break comes in, they will be declared winners of this match. But it is Huzaifa to come from the forest end.
Adam Huzaifa there ready on his run-up, whereas Paul Emeto and Derek Okecho are the opening batters. If they can be slightly at 50 by the end of the fifth over, which are needed to constitute a match, maybe they stand a very big chance of picking up victory here. Brilliant day. This is match day number 4, game number 7 of the East African Safari. Dafabet, Kings, the Children's Medical Center, and the Deep End Sports Media being the sponsors of this tournament. But here we are for the first ball of the run chase. Inside out, throw there by Paul Emeto, opening up his blade right away and breaking the shackles. The first ball always sends the message, and the message from Paul Emeto is that we will give it a chase.
Ochen bowling that wide out, wide. Emeto swings through the line above, covers, picks up the first boundary. And yes, they are in the mood to chase.
Slices one again, and he will take the run. Raymond Kagera cutting that one off to just a single, but good placement there from Paul Emeto. Another which could have carried on to the wicket keeper there, goes into the gap. Well guided there by Derek Okachot, also get off the mark.
Rotation of strike, finding and running quick in between the wickets are always the KPIs in the power play. If you can't find the boundary, run hard. The batter's trying to use the pace of the bowler.
Much brilliant there, a slow bouncer there, just swinging through, and it is a dot ball for Adam Huzaifa. Brilliant line there from Huzaifa Adam. Another dot ball by Adam Huzaifa, and I think he has made some good adjustments. When you look at the first ball that he bowled that was hit down to the extra cover area for a boundary 4, it was a little full and wide, giving Paul Emeto a chance to open up his blade and sending it high. But now he's made recovery, picking up some dot balls there, with one more ball remaining in this over for Adam Huzaifa. Dot ball, end of the over. 6 for no loss is the score as we come to the end of the first over, and the 104 are needed from 96 balls. Peter Ochen will be bowling the second over, coming in from the highway end. 1 off 1 for Derek Okecho and 5 off 5 for Paul Emetu. These two have played for the same club last season, Africa Cricket Club. Currently, Okecho Derek captaining that team, whereas Paul Emetu made changes and he joined the Chennai Cricket Club. Fine leg and third man all at the boundary, but fine leg standing a few feet off the boundary. Peter Ochen getting ready to start off his over. Starts with the full one, but angling into the bats, to the pads, and it is a dot ball.
Derek Okecho looking to make amends, hasn't come to the party so far in the tournament. What a brilliant opportunity for him. Has bowled brilliantly, picking up 4 wickets. That ball kicking off the pitch, wrapping the gloves of Okecho. Valuable dot ball there to Mount Kilimanjaro.
Much better over there coming in from Peter Ochen. Dot balls to start off his over 2. Well guided, and they will take the single. But good work there being made by Mount Kilimanjaro, making sure that they don't give away many runs. There was a boundary off the first ball of this run chase, but somehow they have found a way of crawling back in the match, hitting the good areas. Touch and go, filling that gap towards the square leg, and it's another single.
Unable to find the boundary so far, but trying to exploit the leg side. Has only 2 fielders. I beg your pardon, 3. 1 at mid wicket, mid on, and fine leg.
Good lines there from Peter Ochen, hitting the deck and making sure the ball angles back into the batter. Picking up another dot ball. Brilliant over so far. 2 singles and 3 dot balls, with 1 more ball remaining to complete this over. Peter Ochen will be looking for a calm finish in this over. Final ball of the over. There was an appeal of LBW, but the umpire says it could have gone down the leg, and it is a dot ball, but a brilliant over there from Peter Ochen. Just 2 runs off the over, and as we come to the end of the second, 8 for no loss is the score.
Karisimbi looking for their second win. Sorry, their second win, yes, in their 2 matches, to equal Kilimanjaro, who have played 2 and won 2, unbeaten so far. Huzaifa starts off with one down the leg side. Doesn't cleanly strike that one. Emetu manages to find the man at covers. The rain and drizzle going away, and you feel that both teams are very happy as it evens the contest. Metu trying to cut that ball, but no foot movement there whatsoever.
Somehow runs no longer coming for Mountain Kilimanjaro. I beg your pardon, Mountain Karisimbi, because Mount Kilimanjaro is bowling the good areas. Adam Huzaifa started off this over with a wide, but he's made sure that he comes back very nicely and he bowls 3 consecutive dot balls, beating him completely by the first ball Emetu, and it is another dot ball. Hard line, but good length there being bowled by Huzaifa Adams.
Squares him up completely. That ball angling in and turning off the turf. Rides the bounce there. Paul Emetu well. Misjudgment there in the throw. Gives the batters from Karisimbi an extra run. Kilimanjaro is one of the most athletic teams in this competition, following in the a dive comes in from Okecho to make his ground, picking up one there to bring us to the completion of 3 overs, 13 for no loss.
$97 runs from 84 balls for Mountain Karisimbi to win this one. They somehow look like they were a team which could have come out and chased, but somehow the plan no longer going their way, because in the previous 2 overs they have failed to get the runs. But Peter Ochen, who gave away only 2 runs in his first over, is now coming back for his second over.
Karisimbi should be mindful of that required red not creeping higher and higher. Try and match it. Good yoker there from Peter Ochen. Starts off his second over with a dot ball. A more quieter passage of play between these sides, and you would feel that Mount Renzori are the happier side. They are not conceding many, yet to pick a wicket, but as long as the batters are not making any runs, you would be happy.
Yeah, no ball call there from the umpire. A ball which was right there for Paul Emmet to pull. He doesn't really manage to execute that. And now it will be a free hit there coming in from Ochen Peter. He goes inside out shot, but brilliant timing there. We will be undone by the outfield. And good work there from Mahad. 2 runs they will do take, but a very brilliant shot there coming in from Paul Emetu. Very well collection. That fielder there who fielded is Woji Martin. Full and guided run out chance, but there was no throw there coming in from the fielder, and they did take the run. Off 6 for Derek Okecho and 12 off 17 for Paul Emetu. Current run with 4, required 6. 93 from 80 balls, with the 2 more balls remaining in this over. The 4th, Peter Ochen, they are still making sure that he hits the good lines. Poor delivery there from Peter Ochen, a little full and down the leg for a wide, but the extras have been the leading scorer in this game. Adam Mosaif and Peter Ochen have been giving away many.
Another effort ball there from Peter Ochen, trying to come wider of the crease and angling that ball into the batter and the wickets, but straying down the leg side. And that is the line he's trying to bowl at, borderline.
That was the final ball of the over, and it is a dot ball. End of the 4th over, and 18 for no loss is the score. It's the first game on match day number 4 of the East African Safari T20. Mount Elgon will take on Mount Renzori later on in the afternoon at 2 p.m. A derby of sorts, because both mountains are located in Uganda. It will be another interesting clash. Both 2 teams were at the wrong side of results yesterday. but a chance of redemption for both. They are the only teams that are yet to pick up victory in this tournament, setting up an exciting stage for that clash which will be happening later on. And there is a bowling change for Mount Kilimanjaro. Zaifa Adams out of the attack, and Austin Mujuni now coming in to bowl.
Mujuni able to swing that ball both ways. An attacking bowler, and you feel that he has been brought in to break this partnership. Hasn't scored many, but they need the wickets. Ball swinging into the pads. Emetu puts the bat down in time to keep it out. Strays down the leg side. Augustine. Drop and run there once again from Metupol, and the man at backward point brought closer into the ring to stifle that one. And another outside edge there adds to the tally of Karisimbi.
I think the biggest issue in terms of their bowling has been the extras they have given away. And if you're a team which bowls so many extras, it means you always need to score many runs, so that when you're coming to bowl, you don't have pressure, because when you bowl few runs and you give away extras, you start at a very high risk of losing the game. Austin Muji, not a very bad start there for him. The two batters have not yet gotten out of the blocks. When you look at the way they are taking on the proceedings, Paul Emetu has scored below 100 alongside Derek Okecho, 13 of 19 and 3 of 9 respectively. But now these bowlers for Mountain Kilimanjaro will need to adjust those lines, keep hitting the good areas to make sure that they don't give away many runs. Lofted over the fielder that covers. Oh no! It doesn't go all the way, and it is Nathan Mupere, the standing captain, who was at the toss, who takes the catch. Paul Emetu's cameo final comes to an end. Somehow looked like he had picked up the length very nicely, but in the end he falls to a catch.
Tries to drive that one on the up, doesn't middle that one, only manages to find the man at covers, and he was the aggressor of the two batters there. Another look at that, going over the shoulder of Mopere, equal to the task. First wicket falls. I told you that Augustine Mujuni is a partnership breaker, man who is able to work some magic. Mount Karisimbi has been unable to exploit the power play. Just 2 balls remaining, and then restrictions will be lifted. Kilimanjaro kept them quiet, but it is the new man in Ochimi, wicket keeper bat slash bowler, in with the blade now. 2 balls to negotiate in this first over from Augustine Mujuni.
Playing on the back foot but getting it out of the block hole. But Ochimi Ramadan is one of those batters who can hit out of the blocks and make sure that they get the runs. So he said should be fancying him and hoping and wishing that Ramadan Ochimi can get for them the runs. Hanging blade there from Derek Okecho, and it is a dot ball. 4 off Austin Mujuni's first over and the first wicket falling in his over. But as we come to the end of the 5th over, 22-1 is the score.
Plenty of bowling still left in this Kilimanjaro side. You have the spinners, Jovan Kumagum, and now a man with who made his debut in this match, Martin Boji, coming in for some off spin. Raymond Kagera as well, yet to bowl. Mupere also handy with the ball.
And I tell you, with just 1 more ball remaining for us to come to the end of the power play, because it is a reduced game, 17 overs aside, and the power play is at 5.1. You'd have to bring in your spinner. If he is not hit for many, after this ball, he will have some bit of loosened up restrictions. So I think it's already a good plan there for the side, because he is a very handy spinner. Boji could start, but the umpire will call that one wide. She says it's out of the tram lines. Thought it could have been a dot ball, but that's a good plan, forcing the batters to cut.
The batter moving on the offside, and you would feel that yes, that would have been a dot ball. Oh, opportunity there. Sliding while getting behind the ball, but still keeping his eyes there. Mupere, well applauded there by his colleagues. Boji managing to get some turn already off just 2 balls. A long off, a long on, deep extra cover and deep mid wicket, sent out now with field restrictions lifted. In the block hole there, Okecho being watchful. Thick inside edge there. They pick up one, and you feel that Okecho, for the number of balls that he has faced, unable to score at a decent pace. The ball is in the air and quick running, and they pick up two there.
Not a bad over so far. Two more to play in this over by Mahad. Ball cut straight to the fielder. Sorry, the bowler is Boji Julius. Sorry, Boji Martin. There is another Boji Julius in this tournament. It's a bit of a mix-up in the names, but one more ball remaining in this over. Down the leg, and it will be called wide. Overcompensation there, and runs. Dot ball to end the over. 7 off Martin Woj's first. And after 6:29 for 1 is the score. 81 more needed in 66 balls. The game drifting away from Mount Karisimbi.
Ivan, you feel that what Karisimbi need now is a pinch hitter, somebody who can come in, able to put bat to ball, clear the ropes, get some runs on the board, and get the innings going. Otherwise, they're being bogged down, and that asking rate will go up. The panic will increase, and yes, you have wickets in hand, but they will come needing to build partnerships. Jovan Komagum, bowling change from the Forest End coming in. He has already had a four, but some sloppy fielding of his first ball, concedes 2. Plays on the back foot there to that flighted one from Komagum. Doesn't offer you pace to work with, so you have to watch that ball intently, line it up, and then dispatch it. Quick running between wickets there. Okecho playing the balls with his head up. Miss from Ochimi. Takes some time out to recompose himself. And that is a wicket for Jovan Komagum. Ochimi playing to the back foot for most of the balls, is first against spin and has to perish.
Indeed, the praise wicket there coming for Mount Kilimanjaro. The standing captain for Mount Karisimbi, Ramadan Ochimi, not getting that one out of his block hole. He is a batter who could have gotten them far, but unfortunately not managing to hit that one away. Playing on the back foot, a cardinal sin, and that's how Ramadan Ochimi perished. It was a little fall and right there for him, but it kept low, kept skidding on until when it went on to rattle the furniture. The second wicket goes, and the wicket that goes is the wicket of a very capable batter, Ramadan Ochimi, the wicket keeper batter. And now it will be pressure and rebuilding for Mount Karisimbi.
Jovan Kumagum attacking the stumps. Ochimi trying to create some room, moves his foot out of the way. But that ball keeping low, just like we saw in the first innings. Ball skidding off the turf. Perishes. New man in is Samuel Kariowa. Abdul Shakul Doka, the captain, demoting himself further and further down the batting order, and yet is one of that person able to run well, find gaps. Final ball of the first over from Komagum.
Yeah, the left-handed Samuel Kariowa now in. He's been bowling some good spin, but now time for him to test his own medicine. I love that from Jovan Komagum, making the ball continue following the batter, and it is a dot ball to bring us to the end of over number 7. Komagum Jovan has given away 4 runs and picked up a single wicket in his first. At the completion of the 7th over, 33 for 2 is the score, and the most 77 in 60 needed for Mountain Karisimbi to pick up victory. Martin Iwoji back into the attack. 7 of his first, and he returns. Derek Okacho 6 of 15, and it will be time for them to try and make sure that they accelerate to pick the runs, because it might come out to haunt them later on in the innings if they didn't go hard early. And the current advantage for Mountain Karisim is that they do have a left-handed batter at the crease. They also have another capable batter in Idoka Abdul Shakur waiting right in the crease. I beg your pardon, in the dugout, and will be making his way to the crease later on. Deep mid wicket outside. Samuel going hard but missing that one. Looked like the shot was on, but he wasn't anywhere close. And that ball uprooting the off stump. And it will be the first wicket there for Martin Iwoji. 34 for 4 as Kariowa Samuel, the left-hander, falls. Another wicket there falling. Samuel Kariowa looked like he was going on for that booming off drive, but managing to get it. Abdul Shakur Doka, wicket keeper batter, in. but a lot of rebuilding work to be done for Mountain Karisimbi. If they are to pick up this win, wickets have been falling. Off the mark right away because of that misfield by Austin Mujunat covers. Down the leg, and I love the approach there from Derek Okecho, because you can capitalize and send that one all the way to the boundary. He goes hard at it, he misses it, but it will be a wide and a run added onto the total.
Swing hard to the balls, balled outside of the leg of the wickets. Flighted one there, no protection whatsoever. Abdul Shakul Doka swings and picks up the first maximum of the second innings.
I love the way he pulled away that length very nicely. Look, Abdul Shakul just going slightly down on one knee, and he manages to pick up that one very well, sending it all the way. 67 more runs needed for victory. Look, Abdul Shakul a capable batter, but somehow he didn't get a very good start. But 67 from 56 will take a lot of batting for him if he is to see his team go past the finishing line. 2 more in the over. Doka goes again. This time round it will be a boundary 4, and somehow missing the field set up there by Martin Woji, because he's bowling to the pads. He does need a deep square leg fielder and a deep mid wicket right in place. And now 2 boundaries scored there by Doka Abdul Shakul, with one more ball to play in the over.
Boji guilty of not bowling to his field, and the captain still persisting without a deep square leg, but sends the man to deep mid wicket there.
Yeah, it will also mean that Doka will be cautious not attacking that area, and you see now he uses that flick and is pushing quickly for the second, but they will only take a single. A very beautiful over for Mountain Karisimbi, and at the end of the 8th, 48 for 3 is the score.
The sun finally out on match day number 4. Jovan Magum to continue from the forest end, sends out protection. Deep square leg, long off and long on, and Abdul Shakur Doka trying to find the gap there, but guides it to gully where the waiting Peter Ochen snuffs up that one. Shimmies to the offside to try and create room to play that ball onto the onside. Bye is indicated by the umpire.
It was traveling, and Raymond Kagara only just put a bit of a half-hearted stop there. Derek Okeche pulling that one away very nicely, and he manages to pick up 2.
You feel that now is the time for Okecho to match his captain, trying to find doubles, triples, and the boundary. Ball hit directly into the hands of the man at mid-wicket. Drops it. Opportunity to run out. Doka, who had got on his horse but made his ground back in time. All action out there in this over. I tell you.
Another good placement there, picking up that gap at short, fine leg, and a bit sloppiness there from Peter Ochen, giving them a chance to pick up an extra run. They have now crossed the 50 runs mark, and I need more 57, 49 to pick up victory. Derek Okecho, capable batter. Abdul Shakul Doka, another capable batter. They took current at the crease, trying to find the runs. Good placement there from Derek Okecho, and it is another single. The single will bring us to the end of the over. 5 of Jovan Komagomu's second over, and the 59, I beg your pardon, 54 for 3 is the score after 9. More 56 in 48 needed. Bowling change. Okema Julius, player for Wanderers Cricket Club, will be the bowling change. They are replacing Martin Iwoji. Starting with one off the pads, and that is the hit away for a single. I love the body language there and the support being displayed by their dugout. They know that a run a ball could keep them close, so they are very happy with even the runs they will do pick up. Creates room and cuts that one away. Slow outfield, which could have been a bound. Oh, that has gone all the way to the boundary, but waiting for the signal there from the umpire. Yeah, the umpire there saying clear that had crossed.
Good shot there from Doka. Whips it to the offside. The chase was on, but that ball crossing the line at the last moment, Mojuni was in chase. Reverse there from Abdul Shakul Doka, going inventive. Good running there. Got into position quickly and played the reverse shot. Ochema changes ends to come over.
Yeah, there has been some good running between these two batters. They are somehow showing that they will keep crawling back and finding the runs. The rotation of strike has been so brilliant in this game, and they are making sure that they run and keep milking. Look at Shakul getting down to cut, but not getting close to it. 47 in 43 needed for Karisimi to pick up victory. Somehow the number of runs and the balls has come close. Flighted and not hit well by Doka, but a misfield will give them the run. A lot of caution being displayed by Mount Kilimanjaro during their fielding.
Abdul Shakul Doka looking to run doubles to every ball. There has been an upturn in the run rate. As you see a shot there of people working on their craft in the nets there. But at the end of the 10th over, 64 for the loss of 3 for Karisimbi.
Yeah, it is the captain for Mount Elgon who is in the nets, Emmanuel Tujuche, trying to make sure that he works on something. He says his batting has not come to the party so far in the tournament, but he will be hoping that later on in the afternoon, as Mount Elgon takes on Mount Renzori, he comes out and tries and puts up the fight. Komagom Jovan will be coming for his third over. 46 in 42 needed for Mount Karisimbi to pick up victory. Lofted over the head of the bowler, and Doka Abdul pushing quickly for the second run. The umpire saying that Derek Okecho was a bit sloppy in his running, and that run out there beautifully completed. Okecho will be the fourth batter to depart.
Departs after scoring 12 in 20, and we had seen an injection there in the running and the scoring, with Doka coming on to the pitch, but a brilliantly executed run out there, lofts the ball over the bowler, and Okecho was the one returning to the danger zone, unable to chip in a dive. You feel that a dive would have saved him, but a combination of Komagum and the fielder there at mid-off completing that. A very evenly poised game we have on our hands here, as Karisimbi tries to overhaul the 110 runs required for victory. Won the toss, asked Kilimanjaro to bat, restricted them to 109 for 7. Run rate now just above 6 from the 4 that it was stuck in for a while. Are we going to see a very explosive end to this game? A few boundaries would put the cat among the pigeons, you feel?
Kenneth Isco is the new batter in, but now it will be time for them to do some bit of rebuilding job. There was some growing partnership and some chemistry which was between Doka Abdul Shakur and Derek Okecho, but Derek Okecho falling to that run out. Well sliced there by Doka Abdul Shakur. That was already run. They are pushing quickly for the second run, but there was a station there from Isiko, but the throw well wide, giving them a chance for the third run. Not good fielding there coming in from Mount Kilimanjaro. Their bowling and fielding has not really come to the party. They scored 109, but the issue for Mount Karisimi not taking care of the wicket column might be the advantage, helping Kilimanjaro to maybe remain a little comfortable in the game.
The fielders from Kilimanjaro unable to get hold of the ball and make it dead, trying to extract runouts. But the batters are quite fleet-footed, well placed there. And now the fielders, being aware to the fact that Doka is running at every single opportunity, and his partner has to match his energy as well. Otherwise, any hesitation and you will perish. Tries to bowl the googly there. Jovan Komagum strays down the leg side. A freebie to Karisimbi.
Doka going hard. But Raymond Kagera there with a fine stop. They will take the run, but somehow Doka trying to access the boundary, and the Kagera's dive will be what helps his side from not conceding a boundary.
Final ball of Komagum third over. Well placed there through mid-on. Good running there from Abdul Shakul Doka. You sleep, I run. Bringing us to the end of the 11th over. 73 runs for the loss of 4. 37 required now to complete victory. The balls now almost matching the runs required. Kilimanjaro persisting with the spin, and I think that is a trick missed. Okema coming back into the attack. You need some balls that are missing the bat and some speed there. Were they to attack one of these overs, they would be well within sight of victory.
Yeah, they'll need an over or two to target for them to have the victory in sight. 36 in 35, they are close. A run a ball can see them go past the line. They'll need it just to make sure that Abdul Shakul Doka sticks in. Whereas for Kenneth Isiko, he will be making sure that he rotates strike. Okema there with his cunning tricks. Coming left arm over, but that's well driven down the ground. And they will take the single. And I tell you, this is the moment where the singles hurt. Because the run a ball can see them past the line. Putting the outside edge into play, and it is another dot ball, but a good line there from Okema Julius.
Trying to access the vacant slip region there. Doka goes inventive over the man at Gale. That should be 2. Great to see a batter using his brain, working out where the fielders are.
Yeah, because you saw the balls were turning away from him. A little undone by the outfield. That one doesn't go all the way to the boundary. But it is a fine placement there from Abdul Shakul Doka. Full toss and hit down the ground. Work to do for Peter Ochen. But another double there taken by Doka Abdul Shakul. Doka Abdul Shakul really trying to make sure that he gives it a chase.
Final ball of the over. Generous Okema is, and we will have to bowl that again. Appeal comes in for an attempted stamping there. At the completion of 12, it is 80 runs for the loss of 4. Required is 30 runs in 30 balls. What an equation there it is. But the brilliant figures from Abdul Shakul Doka, 31 in 20. Kenneth Isiko keeping him company, 4 in 3. Required rate at just 6 per over. Roberto Willie heeding the call and realizing that Shakul Doka was enjoying playing against spin. Brings in Augustine Mujuni to break this partnership. Replaces Komagum in the bowling attack now. Starts off with a dot ball. 30 required in 29 balls. This match poised on a knife edge, almost tipping either way. Who wants it more? Hit and a run there. Swing and a miss there from Abdul Shakur Doka. Mount Karisimbi involved in that cliffhanger as well against Renzori, winning by 15 runs. Goes aerial, man under that sky there, and Doka perishes. Will we see the demise of Doka result in a loss for his team? But the capable Julius Martin Boje, I beg your pardon, under that Safer's hands, Safer's houses, we call him, that youngster who turns out for Mukono development side in the Cricket Uganda leagues. The sun is out to put the final touch to this match between Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Karisimbi. Karisimbi looking for their second win in as many matches. Renzori have already notched up 2 victories, looking for their third in this 6-team tournament, the East African Safari T20, brought to you by premier sponsors Dafabet, Kingsley Children's Medical Center in Mukono, broadcasting and streaming partners being Deep End Sports. Follow, like and subscribe to their channel for all live sports action across the Ugandan and East African landscape. Tournament organized by Mukono Cricket Community under the stewardship of Cricket Uganda. Augustine Mujuni with ball in hand, 2 balls to complete his over. And Shirine, the new man in. Is this the turning point? Is this the over in which the Favor family turns into the hands of Mount Kilimanjaro? I felt that Pes was the option to go captain obliged, and Augustine Muduni doing wonders. A very quiet over there. One coming off that over. 13 overs, 81 for 5. The required rate rises from 6 now to 7. 29 required in 24 balls. Abdul Shakur Doka had done his level best, getting back to ball, going inventive, and working up that deficit. And at the point of the beginning of the previous over, the equation was 30 in 30. A brilliant over from Augustine Mujuni now sees Kilimanjaro with their nose in front, but never say never, as you will have to wait here and watch and see how this match unfolds. Peter Ochen comes in into the bowling attack, pace in tandem, and clean balls. Kenneth Isiko. The breaks firmly applied by Mount Kilimanjaro, trying to shut the door down to the Karisimbi innings to notch up their third victory. All the excitement and action is coming from the East African Safari T20 Cup 2026, played on a double round robin format and eliminator to see who will be crowned champions at the end of the tournament that runs right to the beginning of the month of June. The eliminators will be between number 1 and number 2, and number 3 and number 4 for who will contest the finals. Peter Ochen with the wicket of the first ball of the 14th. Mark Chiwanuka, the new man in. 2 in 2 for Peter Ochen. No foot movement whatsoever from Chiwanuka. Beaten by the pace. Stumps rearranged, and it is happy days for Mount Kilimanjaro, looking to shut the door family onto the attempt of Karisimbi for victory. 3 more wickets to pick up, quick and direct, and that is what you need from your premier bowler against the tail end. You feel with the departure of Shakul Doka, the chances for victory for Karisimbi evaporating away. Match day number 4 and game number 7 in this tournament. An opportunity for Peter Ochen to notch up the second hat-trick of this tournament. One having gone to Richard Sohera. Figures of 2 for 7 so far in 2.2 overs. Newman in. Joshua and here we go. Wraps the bat, the pads, appeal comes in, and unable to complete that hat trick. Exciting times there. You would feel the hash on the pitch as everyone held their breath to see if Ochen would complete his hat trick. That opportunity doesn't come so often in a bowler's career, but yet to consider run Peter Ochen. Young man putting bat to ball. And a needless throw in there from the fielders for the first run to be considered off this over. There was some hesitation between the runners and throwing that ball to the wrong end. .28 needed in 20 balls. Angling into the batter. Shuraini unable to hit the stumps on this occasion. And it will be one more ball from a brilliant over for Peter Chen, where he further reiterated the dominance of Mount Kilimanjaro. Lost their premier batter, Robert Owidi, early, half and puffed to 109 in 17. And that ball marks the end of over number 14. 82 for the loss of 7 wickets. 28 runs required in 18 balls. Required rate now shooting to 9.33. Mujuni coming to bowl his final over of the allotted 4. Broke the partnership of Abdul Shakul Doka and Isiko. Shuraini and Joshua with the rebuilding work. And if you don't have any power and great technique, you would find this absolutely difficult. Another one angling in from Mujuni to the batter, only missing the stumps. Some ball, some result. The batter being beaten by pace. And now if Mujuni were to align that ball right into the wickets, the glove man not holding on to that one, but you feel that there is some relaxation from Mount Kilimanjaro, inching closer and closer to that victory. Finally puts bat to ball, picks up a single. Kilimanjaro will not mind that, because now they didn't to deal in boundaries. Singles will not do them any good. Mount Karisimbi. That was the wicket ball. Missed. Had 4 opportunities at that, and at the 5th time of asking, Augustine Mujuni gets his man. Figures of 3 for 6 in 2.5 so far. Standing extremely outside of his stumps. Mujuni left with just a task of angling it into the wickets. Coming from ball pitches from outside and right into the stumps. 84 for the loss of 8 after 14.5 for Mount Karisimbi. One more ball to complete. Mujuni's third over has picked up 3 wickets, conceding only 6 runs at just under 2 economy. Newman in. Marvin plays and misses to that one. 15 done and dusted, 84 for 8. "26 runs needed in 12 balls. And there is need for a hero for Mount Karisimbi. Required being 13 per over. The captain, Robert O'Willy, feeling that his pace bowlers have done a tremendous job, curtailed this run chase, and now he returns Okema Julius into the attack to replace Peter Ochen from the highway end. 12 balls in which Mount Karisimbi can be heroes. Hit and run there, opportunity to run out. Not taken this time round. The innings of Karisimbi stuck in the 80s. Drifted one there from Okema. You can see the confidence in the bowler now. Bowling the penultimate over. Picks up one there, the young man, to get off the mark. Swing and a miss there from Shurain. Opportunity to catch at mid-off. Not taken. But the innings of Karisimbi dying with each passing ball.
Dr. Abdul Shakur was the player who could have gotten them far alongside Ramadan Ochi, but both of them going back early. Nearly hitting that one to the field that covers, and only a single they will do take. Bringing us to the end of the over, and the scoreboard reading 88 for a loss of 8 after 16 overs. It is a reduced game and only 1 over is remaining. 22 runs from 6 balls is now the equation for the victory to go the way for Mountain Karisimbi. Mathematically, it is possible, but easier said than done. It will take a lot of batting for them, and given the fact that they are now in the tail end, it means that it will be very hard for them to pick up victory. Another hit over the head of the fielder, but it falls into the gap. Giovanni Komagom. Oh, sorry, it is not Giovanni Komagom. Giovanni Komagom there, the bowler bowling the final over. 21 more in 5 balls. Hit over the fielder at mid-wicket for another single. Marvin Isabiri and Shurain Ismail struggling to find rhythm and struggling to get out of the blocks. It's the final over of the match. Another dot ball there for Mountain Kilimanjaro. It's been indeed a very quiet over, the final over of this match. And Jovan Komagom just enjoying swinging and running through his action. That is hit up in the air and well taken. The final ball of the over will be a wicket. Marvin Isaviriye trying to get out of his blocks but not managing. And in the end, another wicket goes. A victory going the way of Mount Kilimanjaro. Good work they have done. Their bowling display has really been so fine. They've made sure that they don't give anything away. And as we come to the end of this game, we will be having another exciting clash happening here. And the exciting clash will be a bottom of table clash. Two teams that are yet to test victory in this tournament, Mount Elgon and Mount Renzori, will be squaring off at 2 p.m. Keep it deep in Sports Media because we will make sure that we do enjoy all these games. But that is the match summary there. Julius Okema, 20 of 25 batting for Mount Kilimanjaro. 4 wickets for Derek Oketo, but not helping his side to pick up the win. A good rest was there from Doka Vrishaku, 31 of 22. But his team finally falling short by 19 runs. I'll be coming to you shortly with the post-match presentation. My name is Evan Sipan Sajabi and I was here with Solomon Luwamachigozi. Switch off your screens because you'll need to know what the captains have to say about this match. to the post-match presentation of the first game on match day number 4. A clash between Mountain Karisimi and Mountain Kilimanjaro, but Kilimanjaro winning the game by 19 runs. Let me call through the captain for Mountain Karisimbi, Ramadan Ochimi, to come and tell me what might have gone wrong in the game. Ramadan, seeing 109 runs on board when you went down to chase, did you feel like it was a total you could have gotten?
Yeah, I felt that we would have got that total, but just because we never batted very well, the top order, they never batted very well. So I think we shall go and polish on the issues that we've done bad. Come back tomorrow very hard.
Hard luck and go well.
Thank you, sir.
And now let me invite the captain for Mount Kilimanjaro, Nathan Mpere. Nathan, how do you sum up the performance for your team in this game?
For today's game, I sum up it with they have played very well because all that we have talked about, they have done it very well, the bowling and the fielding. Yeah.
Is there something you'd love to improve in your team?
I would love to improve on the fielding because you give a lot of runs when fielding.
Congratulations and go well.
Thank you.
And now the player of match, a man who scored only 7 runs but picked up 3 wickets. Austin Mujuni takes the award, and it will be Nganda Vivian to give out that award. Austin, please come through. Congratulations upon winning the award. What was it like you when you went out to bowl for Mount Kilimanjaro?
It feels good to have won this award. It was a good game.
Anything you'd love to do better in the next game?
Yeah, I will try to improve there. Just bowling, doing my best.
Thank you so much and all the best.
Oh, thank you.
As we come to the end of the post presentation of the first game, there is another clash which will be happening in the afternoon. A bottom of table clash at 2 p.m. between Mount Elgon and Mount Renzori.